I mean, I think there is a danger that we can very easily talk about God, we can very easily talk about spirituality, and it becomes diffuse and unclear. Whereas if you focus on the person of Jesus, you know, in the Christian tradition, Jesus is the face of God, Jesus is the icon of God. And so by focusing on Jesus, you see the way God is for humans. And I think Ignatius understood that very clearly. And so he would say, if you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus.
I think that the conference is really allowing us to take the time to examine and state that we are followers of Jesus, a Jesus that loved, that behaved, that walked the paths of this world, and he teaches us the way we need to.
We often put our students in a box and examine them by their grades, and it's very important, I think, to invite the miracle and to invite them to think about themselves as a mystery and their life as a quest to discover who they are and who the other people are. And I think this is actually where reconciliation starts, very nearby.
Which means to put together, to make very different cultures and peoples coexist. It's about speaking together, people who have very different approaches to reality, but it is also about tackling tough questions such as migration today, because of course each country has a different position on that, and it's quite a major challenge.
So that's important to us, but we have to realize that lots of our students are not really Christians. And we are trying to welcome them and to accept them as they are. They can be Christian, they can be atheists, they can be Muslims, they can have other ideas, and we all accept them in our school.
This question, can we talk about Jesus, has to do with some of the challenges that were proposed by Father General in his address to all the delegates. The mission has to do with the evangelization, and this is all connected to the mission and values of Jesus of Nazareth, and that's why we should not lose sight of Jesus. That's why we're here.
But we're not ashamed of Jesus. We say, you know, we come from this Christian tradition. Here is why we are here. We are doing education. We are running this school because we are Christians. That doesn't mean everybody in the school needs to be a Christian. And Ignatius wanted to talk about Jesus with everybody he met in every circumstance, all kinds of different people. Feel that the way you do religion in your school is deeply shared and human, then it seems to me you're probably doing it right. It's not whether you're a Catholic or a Christian, or whether you understand the Ignatian tradition. If you like what's coming out of our school, if you would like that for your child, you are welcome.
Our meditative walk is not evasion. Our God in Christ, it's very important that we remember the context in which we are. And we will have the time to reflect and pray about our life as heads and the mission that we pursue in this very privileged place like Loyola. Mystery is something that we will never stop finding out, discovering. When we say that every man is made in the image of God, if God is that mystery, well, we are a mystery, and therefore we will never stop discovering. And we discover that in dialogue. There is something we need to help young people with, and that is to understand that each of them is a mystery, and they would They should never accept to be, downplayed by others. But at the same time, they should not do exactly the same to others. And everything is bounded with this idea of mystery.
To have a dialogal lifestyle. What does it mean? If you never have a dialogue, you can be a being of dialogue. What is that? It is defined by the look that this person has on others. It's looking and seeing beyond your ordinary eyes. Through faith, you see more. You see that this person is a mystery, an endless mystery that you will never stop.
The fundamental respect in dialogue means that we need the other. We cannot stop at tolerating the other. Means an endless adventure, an endless quest.
I think JECSE is an adventure of meeting people, different people, with a lot of languages, of course, in Europe.
I'm convinced, and after these days of the conference here in Loyola, I'm even more convinced that we can also benefit and be an inspiration for JECSE and other Jesuit schools in European core country, because we are experiencing some specialities. For example, we are teaching in a society whose majority are Muslims. We are working and teaching with a staff who is almost completely Muslim and teaching students who are almost completely Muslim. That's very interesting, that's very challenging, and I think that all the Jesuit schools can experience and benefit from these ideas, these experiences, and from the way we try to challenge ourselves to run a serious and honest Jesuit school.
Sharing groups, meeting groups, exchange groups for teachers and for students, which will contribute so much to education in our school. So I'm convinced so much about this.
I believe that JECSE is key for European Jesuit schools because it means collaboration. It means that we have to look beyond our own culture, and it invites us to examine our schools.
And it would be my dream to, in the future, have a platform for our most prophetic students as well, because I think it could be really enriching for these students to have this kind of international platform to share about the Magis and the social projects and the ecological projects, because they can be the agents of change in the future. So I think that would be very important.
Other people coming from other countries can remember us, saying, well, you haven't seen this and you should notice it. So our view is broader because we have those meetings in JECSE. I think this is really the adventure of JECSE.